joint.
Morgan.
Yeah.
I have so much gray hair. I had no idea. You have to understand, I didn't know. You might have known because you've had the overhead.
I have the pervs.
Thank you. But there's something going on here that Mama had no idea about. And I'm Mama, by the way, no idea.
And
no idea.
But by the way, because you're brunette more now than you are, sorry, I know that was a struggle. I know it was a struggle.
So hard. What's that shirt? Forgive me for being such a...
Well, it is not Dries, my good woman. I did think about you.
But is it pale blue? Is it blue?
Pale blue. You know, it's like a, ode to Victorian. It's got a high neck.
Yeah, well, where did you get it? You'll have to text me where you got it, because you know how we were in that makeup trailer.
Yeah, I should have listened to you about some of those dresses on the pre-purchase. And by the way,
yeah, you didn't know you were going to go win an Oscar. The rest of us might have known, but you didn't know.
I did not.
You could have gotten some of those dresses. I know. You look so beautiful, though, Morgan. You really look so beautiful, and you so deserved that. I was so happy. I know people were screaming all over, all of the people who love you, and anyone who's ever worked with you knows that, like, I mean, sorry, but your attention to detail and your absolute fastidiousness and you have an eye like no one else. So this is the truth. It's really true.
Thank you.
Look at the work you did on this show. I just can't even, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Are you ready for another statue to don your shelf? I mean, toy.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that, but it takes a village,
This one's Holland's. It just happened to be here. This is Holland's.
Oh my God. I mean, I do have my table. I like Holland.
Do it.
That's pretty. What? Go to my table.
I want to see it.
I go to my table here.
Give the people the Oscar. They want it.
By the way, I can't believe I didn't see you at the Vanity Fair party.
Woman, no.
You know what? Somebody told you what somebody did when I got in there. They said, "Oh, you got to get your picture taken with Mark Seliger." I go, "Mark Seliger is not going to want to take my picture. He's going to want all the famous people." No. So I get stopped over in that section, and of course, it took forever because, of course, he didn't really take my picture. He's a nice guy, but
he is a nice guy.
But okay,
let's see it. Give me the Oscar. Come on. Oh my God, Morgan. Yeah. Do you ever just look at it and just think?
Well, do I pick him up? I do.
Do you talk to him? Do you talk to him the way you would the dog that you need to get? Bye, Holland's Emmy.
Where's Winnie?
Winnie is.
Yeah, that Emmy is beautiful.
Winnie, I don't know. Winnie.
Where's Winnie? That
Winnie.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll see.
So you got.
See.
Oh, should we bring Winnie on, and then should we say anything about Mrs. America?
Yeah, I mean we can.
Because you're gonna have to go in a minute, right? Because you're
have to go in a minute, but I'm here now. Where's my dog, Winifred?
Where is my dog? Oh my God!
Here's the story, though.
What?
She doesn't come when I call her, so it's very hard to. No, she's not. She was the most docile, little, sweet, charming little pup, and now she's turned into this teenager who's like gum chewing. She's looking at me like, "You want me to? What do you want me to do?" And I'm like, "I want you to come here." She's like, "Yeah, I'm not going to do that."
Except for the part where you're going to come to me.
Yeah. She's like, "You better come get me. You better come get me." She's like a real tough bird. She really
is. How old is she?
I will have had her for 2 months in about a week. So she's eight months old.
She's 8 months. She's so like.
She's tiny.
She's super tiny.
Winnie. Sometimes she comes when I do that. Winnie, touch. That's the thing the trainer told me.
Command.
Winnie, touch. Do you see a dog?
That's a good command.
Not seeing her.
Just saying.
Not saying. Yes. Talk about Mrs. America. I remember the very first picture you brought as an Alice inspiration, which I believe was someone's made it.
Oh, let me see. It was the best thing ever. Yes, she is the best thing ever.
Hello. Hi, honey.
Yes. Oh, Samuji.
Hi, Winnie.
Hi, Winnie. Oh, hello, Winnie. She's a star.
She's a super
I love the size of her ears. Are they not the most? She's kind of like some Byzantine painting. You know how women had those big combs, like Renaissance era. That's it.
Yes. Did you ever read?
Of course, I see it as like a
Renaissance. She's a perfect creature. She's just, Are you the queen? Are you the boss? Oh, you have things to tell me? Okay.
Oh. She's shy.
She's shy. I'm a camera. I'm not like my mom who's a camera hog. eyebrows? Are we boring you? Well, okay, bye, Winnie.
Okay,
he's like, if you're gonna call me and not give me a treat, I'm not down with that.
Yeah, you need to have this bag.
But I remember you had that beautiful picture. I think Jessica Lange was a picture for Alice that they will see in tomorrow night in next week's episode.
Is it next? Oh, is it next week? It
next week's episode, the finale episode.
Okay.
We have the look that was inspired by Jessica Lange. Remember?
Yes. Oh, yes. I remember the Jessica Lange picture. One of my most obsessive pictures about her, actually. And the first that it was Lauren Hutton too.
It was Lauren Hutton. It was a lot of Lauren Hutton, and it was all about finding the exact right color.
Yeah.
For Alice, because
that's right.
We wanted that kind of traditional 70s ash.
That's right. Really earthy.
And the thing that you had me do, which I have never done before, which was to lighten my eyebrows.
Yeah, you lightened your brows.
You had me lighten my brow to,
Yeah, well, because it draws all the attention to your eye instead of to the framing. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
Eyebrows it's a funny thing with eyebrows. You really just do something very, very subtle and it makes a huge difference. Huge difference.
It really does. But that was all you.
You know what what I didn't tell you that I did. when we got to Canada and the wig came and everything, and I was like, it needs just like a little bit of perk like on the edges, right? Because it's a beautiful wig, but it just needed like a little bit of like
little sparkle.
And so I did like baking soda, and I took a little bit of developer, like 40 volume, and I like scrubbed it from the halfway down through to the end so that it would like have more.
This is the thing. This is why you're so good. It's all in the detail, and you know that. The best thing I loved about you, there are so many things to love about you, but this was my favorite thing about you, Morgan. You'd be on the set, and there you are dealing with a lot of you're dealing with a lot of actresses, you're dealing with a lot of people, a lot of personalities, a lot of people panicking, worrying. This was a big thing for a lot of people to bite off. And I wasn't playing a real person, so I wasn't carrying that extra weight of trying to get something right and the responsibility of that, which is a big deal. But it was a lot for you to manage, and we were out of town, and it was a big show. Let's not deny that the scope of the thing and the amount of time it spans huge. But you would go around, and after you would do whomever you were taking care of that day, me or Melanie, I know Rick was dealing with Melanie, but Liz Banks, anybody, you would go around and you were looking at all the background artists, and there was all of whom had been through the works, and you would just go and do these tiny things that would just like separate the hair, or you push up at the crown, or you just put your hands in it a little bit, and it always just took it from perfectly lovely to just something that was so supremely authentic. It was so special and a very, very unique thing to you. I very rarely see people who are taking care of actors who are also like got their eye on the whole picture. You were never just thinking singularly about whomever you were working on. You were thinking about what the piece was going to look like as a whole. It was really important.
Well, the cameras rove around, and I guess that comes from really, in film, that the cinematic is going to be just so big, and this happened to be on a smaller screen, and everyone is like captivated by it. By the way, they love it. It's so good. But I will say that I do think it is important, the detail, because the detail is what sells something. You can have a great wig, you can put a great wig on, but it doesn't always sell it. I want to ask you something.
Okay.
What? By the way, I almost was like, oh, I found the pictures of you with, remember the shorter wig with the hot rod? Yeah. I'm like, we need to do a movie with that wig on with the thing I saw. But I was talking about that your character has the markers for me for the time period, which I'm not sure that you knew that I felt like that about Alice. But because she wasn't
I just saw Stacy. Stacy just said hi to us.
She did?
Hi, Stacy. Yeah.
Okay, you follow that while I just blab.
Yeah, I'm looking. You keep talking.
So, but what I was going to say is, like, because we opened with you in the salon with all the women. Kaylee Carter.
Hi, Kaylee. Pamela's in the house.
That's right. She was in the salon with you.
She was.
And that's like a moment that was real for women, that they would socialize and talk politics and sex and family and whatever. Yeah. And then it changes. And when we see you in the car and you've got hot rollers in, that's like a whole different situation. I said how hard it was. How crazy was that, having to put hot rollers in a wig? Who freaking knew?
Whose idea was that? That was Davi's idea, and it was great. It's a great thing to start that episode with all those, that episode 8, that Alice's episode, which is called Houston, and I can live with the fact that it's not called Alice. But those hot rollers, I mean, that first day I wore them in the salon. That was my first day of working in episode 1.
Yeah,
remember, those were real, like they had this,
and they were
hot roller thing was. And I had them on for days. Do you remember? Because we were going back and forth. You're like, yeah, I remember. Yeah. And then there was a couple of days where we had to take them out in the same day and try to get me to look with the. I mean, that was.
And also it'd be like, how much time do you need, Morgan, to put hot rollers in? 20 minutes.
And you were like
an hour and 10 minutes later. I'm like, oh my god, because it was so heavy and trying to not rip the wig.
Kaylee said, "Quackleen those pins." I know. Remember Quackleen?
Of course, Quackleen.
Quackleen. I tried when I was on with Kate the other day. I tried to get Kate to tell the Quackleen story, and she was like, "I'm worried it won't translate." That was not a good impression, but and she's probably right. And then Melanie, you could talk to Melanie about Quackleen, but she too was like, "I worry." Melanie told me a story that she told about Quackleen to someone at a dinner party, and they were like, "I don't get it," and I was like, "Oh, damn." Maybe it was just funny to us. But
okay, but wait, did you see on Melanie's post today? Was my first time seeing it. Oh my god, the video. Wait, she's showing all that at the middle of the night when you guys had all the little small creatures or dolls, whatever. Sorry, and then somebody's saying, "Tell us the Quackleen story." And then you guys, you're cooking the baby, and I am crying. I was like, "How did I miss that?" It was hilarious.
It's because anytime we were in the Schlafly house, because once the Eagle Forum moved upstairs, remember we were in that room that was supposed to be downstairs, but we were shooting it upstairs. Yeah. And we had that little green, that little green room that we would be in. And don't you feel like the hours on this one was really?
Do you know that I looked at my, because we're not working, right? And so I'm looking at hours from last year, and so you can file for things. Literally, my average hours in a week were between 93 and 89 hours a week.
Yeah. I mean,
people.
Stacy's like, long. They were long.
Did she say that?
Yeah, Stacy was like, long, all caps. Long.
So freaking long.
It was really long because, it
was a lot of material and a lot of women. And
also we finished the series with episode 8, even though, remember, we shot 7 and 9 together, and then we finished with with Houston, but let's call it Alice, to be honest.
Remember the last night?
The last night. But do you remember?
24 hours.
Well, but remember, because we had a few scenes that were outdoors, we had to go on to nights, but we were shooting interiors for all these, and we were waking up at 6 p.m. to go to work and going. I think we wrapped that last day. It was noon. It was noon, and we had come to work.
Yes, I remember Fleetwood Mac.
And then we went to Fleetwood Mac.
I bailed.
Morgan, I'm not going to lie to you. You missed something very, very special.
I know, and I don't think you were happy that I didn't go, but I couldn't function.
I understood that you couldn't go. You were tired. It's just. I wish you had rallied, because you would.
I know.
You would have had a very special night.
And when are we going to go to a concert again?
I get to say that the last concert is Fleetwood Mac. Stevie Nicks dedicated Landslide to me in a giant arena. I just, wanted as many witnesses to that as possible. Yeah, she did.
I'm like drooling.
I know. It was really crazy. We had a very magical night. Ari and I were singing into each other's faces, and Melanie was crying. We were all crying. It was very.
How good is Ari? She plays Brenda Fagan, Fast Out.
Yes, she does. I've seen nothing, but I want you to know I have a very long.
Do you not watch things you do?
I have not watched anything since OJ. I made a decision to stop because I'm just too hard on myself. Ryan Rochelle, love you. That designer. Do you know Ryan Rochelle? She's an incredible designer. Hi. And my heart fell out of my ass, Kaylee said. No, we I did. I had a very long, I'll tell you this with all the 1,100 people who are watching this.
Brenda liked the episode. Stacy just wrote, Brenda liked the episode. Like the real Brenda Fastow. Remember, that was like.
I know.
Brenda,
I remember. I know. I want Ari to be able to tell that story one day, and hopefully they can have a conversation together publicly, because it would be really amazing.
Yeah.
But what I want to say is that I had a big long therapy session today, and we had a whole talk about me watching my own work and allowing myself to enjoy the fruits of the labor. That we all put a lot of work into it, but I get so worried I'm gonna be so hypercritical that that thing where you had such a beautiful time making something and you want that to be enough, and I don't want to pick it apart, and I want to But I think I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
Sarah, you should watch. I mean, well, I say that, but I understand. I mean, I understand. I mean,
don't you think when you have to ever watch something you've done and been like, if I could just move that one hair a little bit to the left, and there's nothing you can do about it now.
I mean, that does sound really trite. You're talking about like emotional weight, and now I'm like, yeah, that one hair that really.
No, but when you're looking at something, but it's true. But you're the kind of person that would look at something and you would be upset if it looked too perfect. You want it to look more lived in and more real because that's the right thing for the character, you know?
Yeah. That was something about Mrs. America that I really, really liked, is that it does turn out feeling like really real. Like when I was a kid, like it feels like, you know, I'm looking at like the reality of it. Like, you know, when it's not supposed to be perfect, you know, except for Phyllis Schlafly.
Stacy just wrote to you. Keanu's
wig. Okay, fuck Stacy. Why are you saying?
You're gonna have to text me later and tell me where you got that.
Oh my God, that's so mean, Stacy. You bring up such a great moment.
Listen, you have an Oscar now. Nothing else matters. Anybody can say all they want about something. Just pick up the thing and be like, hi.
If only there was work.
I know.
Yeah, no, it was great. Again,
I hope you feel really proud, Morgan, because I feel like so many people have been talking, and I feel this about Bina too, and everything from the production design to the costume design to the hair and makeup design. It's so easy for a period piece, I think, to turn into some kind of like horrible school play in terms of the way it looks, you know? It's really hard to get it right and to look super costumey, and like you rated the department at the Yale drama department wardrobe room and the wig department, you know, it really can go that way so quickly. And I feel like in order for this to really transcend all of that, you needed people working at their highest spot, which is why we were so lucky to have you, truly.
Well, you know, I mean, seriously, the whole Rick Finlater of it all,
and he was incredible.
Oh my
God.
Paula too. Yeah. And they were just like, you know, there was just so much work that when, you know, I was able to do it, which I wasn't supposed to originally, you know, I was just supposed to help get the wigs off the ground. So, and really, I just feel so lucky that I got to work on it. And truthfully, Mel, who was in production, and Jim Scotchapole, like those guys really I know that they were like, hair, do we have to talk about hair anymore and wigs anymore? We're so sick of it, but anyway.
Yeah, but it just took this. She said, and bless you for keeping my giant hair out of Paulson's frame.
Who said that?
Kaylee said that. I think there was a time where like her hair, you know, because Kaylee probably has, I think, maybe the best hair on the planet. It's so thick and the color is beautiful.
The color is perfection.
And it's like, she just like, the thing about Kaylee is that she's a sneak attack beauty. Sneak attack beauty, I'm telling you. She's very beautiful upon, you know, just glancing at her, but like when you're really sitting there talking to her, she's so beautiful. Kaylee Carter, that's my opinion. Wonderful actress. These are my opinions. Yes. If somebody wants to meet us so bad, what do I do during quarantine? Sarah, can you say hi, Kia or Kaya? What is it?
I think Kia would probably be
Hey,
better.
Lola. Somebody said something.
Sing for us. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Someone called me an absolute melon. I don't know what that means.
What does that mean?
Have I watched Carol? Yes, I did watch Carol. That was preceding my time of not watching things.
Okay, because, hello, how could you not have watched that?
I watched it. That was that thing I remember. Todd Haynes.
I love Todd.
He's so amazing. And you worked with him on Mark Ruffalo and Dark Waters. He came up to me. I remember he was like, "You've been in the car. You've been driving." And he like came up and he, you know, I'm sure that I can't remember. Was it Alan? Who did my hair? Who did the hair? Jerry
Barlow.
I think so. I could be wrong. It was a long time ago, kids. As I said, I'm going gray. My memory is turning. Don't know what's happening. But he came up to me and Todd was like, you've been in driving for days. And he came in and put his hands in my hair. And it's just, I love that kind of, you know.
He's an incredible director.
Artist. He's very interested in authenticity and not perfection. And it's so wonderful. Yeah.
I thought his way of directing was so interesting. He said he doesn't watch like dailies or whatever. He just lets it unfold. I was like, oh my God, he's amazing. He's amazing.
He's amazing. Who's coming on next? Is Melanie coming?
Right now it's Mel. I'm just a few minutes behind for Mel, and then for Melanie, and then Uzo's coming on after that.
You gotta leave it with the best. Leave it with Uzo. She's the greatest too. I'm gonna have to watch. There's so
Her
many.
episode is so good.
I have no doubt. I have no doubt.
See.
I will.
All right, look, I really appreciate you jumping on with
Oh my
me.
God, I'm so happy to. It's so happy to. Anytime to celebrate you, you really did such extraordinary work, and I know I speak for a lot of people who really feel like you helped us kind of develop the character. I mean, anytime you have extraordinary costumes and hair and makeup, I feel like it's all part of what helps the actor do what they're doing. So I'm very grateful to you, and I thank you. Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm very happy you have a big Oscar, and when this is over, I'm going to come and hold it.
Yeah, please.
I'll tuck it into bed and sing it a song.
Yeah. Well, I'm in the hills, not far from you. So
I know exactly where you are.
You ladies want to go for like a walk, because that's all we can do these days.
Don't forget, I've been in your house when you weren't in it, remember?
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. With Bobby, right?
When Bobby and Rose. Yeah.
Oh, ironic.
That was the other thing about this show, is that every single person knew everybody from me. I mean, that was
connected.
It was like, it was so wonderful.
They lived at my house at one point. So funny.
Okay. Oh, there's Uzo. I love you.
Okay. Okay.
Goodbye, Morgan. Have a
Okay,
wonderful
so
time. I don't know what's happening. I guess I jump off. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye.
Woo.